What's going on, everybody? So today I wanted to make a quick little video going over everything that has happened since chapter 1057 aka Wano ending, as well as the beginning of the Egghead Island arc. And it's like ever since then, Oda has just been constantly giving us some insane moments to a point where when I was making this video I was like, wow, this arc could very well be like a top tier arc in One Piece. Now I don't know about an exact placement, but if it concludes how we hope it will, this could be an insane placement for this arc. Anyways, let's go back to the first thing we got revealed during Egghead, and that was the Straw Hat's new bounties, with Zoro, Jinbei, and Sanji having a top 3, and the lowest being Chopper at 1,000 berries. Next we had what was maybe the most unexpected team up in the series, the Cross Guild, obviously having Crocodile making his way back into the fold, which I think everyone really loved to see, as well as Mihawk being on his first crew that we've seen in the series, and of course the quote unquote face of this group, Buggy the Clown. I was so hyped seeing this, as this group is definitely going to make some noise very soon, as well as they keep adding some new members hopefully. Also during this we get Mihawk's official bounty of 3,590,000,000 berries, as well as Crocodile's bounty of 1,965,000,000 berries, which by the way the main reason they give this bounty is because of his Logia abilities. So hey man, don't sleep on Crocodile if we see something crazy in the future. The next big thing we got is our first introduction to the Seraphim, as well as Blackbeard pulling up to Amazon Lily as he wanted to take Boa's devil fruit, the Marimaro no Mi. And he would have succeeded if the legend really didn't pull up and try and stop him, which Blackbeard would have won, but it wouldn't have been a tough fight for him, so he just left. Next up we got the moment of Luffy telling his crew what he wants the end of his dream to be, which we still don't even know up to this point in the series. In an attempt to silence Sabo, Imu nuked the island that he was on, but the attempt had ultimately failed, and it really showed what Imu is truly capable of. In chapter 1063, we were shown that Blackbeard and Law were facing off against each other, and really at the time this is really insane, as literally everyone is rooting for Law to put up a good fight. And at the point they left us off, it was a bit justified. Now in chapter 1066, after almost 700 chapters, Vegapunk had finally been officially revealed, and was shown to have history with Dragon himself. Then of course we got Rob Lucci returning in his awakened form, getting absolutely violated by Luffy in Gear 5. Funny enough, people thought this fight was actually going to be somewhat close, but I guess for Lucci it is pretty impressive. In chapter 1071, it's shown that Kizaru is headed to Egghead, foreshadowing Luffy's first real encounter and fair fight with an admiral, as well as Garp vs Aokiji beginning in this chapter as well. From chapters 1083 to 1086, we are shown the events of what happened to Sabo when he went to rescue Cobra in the face of Imu and the Gorosei. Figureland Garling was also revealed in this chapter. In the chapters 1087 through 1088, we get the continuation of Garp vs Aokiji, which ended up being a pretty emotional fight with Aokiji being the victor. And it's pretty heavily implied that either both of them were holding back or just Aokiji was holding back. In chapter 1089, we got to look at the crew of the Marines that would be headed to Egghead Island, with Kizaru and Saturn on board as well. Then finally, in 1091, we get the long-awaited rematch of Monkey D. Luffy versus Admiral Kizaru, and this brought some insane hype into the community, which at this time was a very contentious debate on who would win. In the next few chapters, we would see the continuation of this fight up until Luffy and Kizaru stalemate each other and Saturn enters the island and shows off his new form, or I guess a form that's new to us. Then from chapters 1095 to the latest chapter, we have some pretty awesome flashbacks to God Valley, as well as what may be the saddest story in One Piece involving Kuma, Ginny, and Dragon. And I can pretty much say myself that everyone enjoyed pretty much all of this flashback. And that has led us up to the last chapter, and then we will have chapter 1100, which hopefully we get one of the greatest moments in One Piece from Dragon doing something absolutely insane. And if not Dragon, I'm sure Oda has something great planned. But anyways, I'm going to wrap up the video here. Let me know what y'all think of Egghead Island and where it may rank when the arc finishes. And yes, I know this is more of a simpler vid, but I really want to get more content out to you guys, so just bear with me. My next video I'm going to go a lot more in depth into that topic. But I also just wanted to go over this insane arc, as I've been just absolutely pleased with what Oda has been delivering to us. Also, just to let y'all know, next time we'll be talking about Fleet Admiral Kainu and going over what I believe to be his true strength. But we'll talk about that next time. That's all from me. Peace.